All right, man, peace. So I made a video a while ago, maybe 2 or 3 months ago, about the boxer Adrien Broner. I stated that he had a mental issue, and I correlated that with the mental problems that a lot of so-called black men have in this society. And there's reasons why a lot of so-called black men have the mental problems that they have. The upbringing, environment, what they're taught, what they're not taught, what they're mistaught. Adrien Broner, he's like a poster child for all of those things. He happens to have a gift, a talent in boxing. It's probably helped him, preserve his life thus far. He would most probably be dead if it wasn't for boxing. Once again, like I stated, I believe that he has a mental issue, and he basically has corroborated my statements. I remember when I first made that video, some of the brothers in the comments got a little upset. No, this man has mental problems. But, we're going to touch on that as this video goes along.
Well, moving on to another crazy fight, Adrien Broner, the former boxing champion, a guy who is very, very close with Floyd Mayweather, in a crazy situation on the Las Vegas Strip Friday evening, got upset, shoved a woman, socked a guy in the face, and we've got video of the entire thing. It all started in Vegas Friday evening. People would come up to the guy, he was taking pictures, everything seemed hunky-dory.
He's a big star, so people see him, they want to take pictures with him.
Especially in Vegas, where he's connected to Floyd Mayweather, who's the biggest star in Vegas.
Right.
So he was having fun, taking pictures of people. Something set him off, and he stormed away from the group, and he starts walking away. A female companion who was with him tried to go up to him and talk some sense to him, calm him down, and this is what happened. He violently shoves her away. He's lucky that she didn't fall over and hurt herself.
Yeah, he is very fortunate that she didn't fall over and hurt herself. Let me say this. I've done videos in the past about people claiming that they were the victims of domestic violence. I've stated in the past, many women do claim that affluent people, athletes, entertainers, assault them so that they can, of course, get a settlement. But I've also stated on the flip side, as a man, if you're drawn to the point where you have to lay your hands on a female, particularly if she did not hit you first, you have mental problems. Number one, you don't have proper problem-solving abilities. You don't have the ability to put things in proper perspective. If a woman is getting on your nerves that much, then you should disassociate yourself from her. There are many ways to remove people out of your life. You don't have to do it physically unless they're attacking you. As you can see, this woman was not attacking him. She seemed like she was trying to assist him. AB is an example of a guy who, and this is why I like to speak on the dynamic of male-female relationships, especially the so-called black man and black woman. He seems to think that it makes him more of a man to deal with numerous women haphazardly without testing the woman. He doesn't test these women out. And then, he likes to walk around with them like trophies, and he holds and he harbors a lot of anger towards previous relationships. You could tell by a lot of the comments that he makes on his social media. A lot of these problems happen because brothers don't take the time to get to know the people that they're allowing into their circle. Either way, he put his hands on this woman. She easily could take him to court for assault. She was trying to assist him and support him. Number two, Adrien Broner, being a celebrity, he is a celebrity. He should have security. We live in a troll world. What do I mean by that? We live in a world where everybody's a tough guy. They want to try to provoke you with inflammatory language. They want to try to act like they're tough. They want to say rude and nasty things to you to get you to respond and react. Okay? We see that over the internet. We definitely see that in real life towards celebrities. Back in the 1800s, when somebody looked at you disrespectfully or said something disrespectful, both of you went outside and you fought a duel to the death. There wasn't any room for trolling back then. Now everybody's looking for a settlement, right? It's very cowardly, most trolls. You see that? And it's very feminine too. A lot of these guys, they look for a response and a reaction. That's something that a female does. But a lot of these guys act like bitches. That's why I say, a hoe or a bitch could be a male or a female. Adrien Broner has to be smarter than that, but he has not shown that he has much discretion or prudence. He makes very, very bad decisions. It does not matter how talented or gifted you are. If you don't have the ability to harness those abilities within some type of maturity, like I said, just my honest opinion, things are not going to end well for him. But let's see what's going on.
He pushed the hell out of her right there, man. It's so weird.
So moments after that, something else happened, and another guy, I don't know if he was connected to Adrien or not, but he was right there on the strip, and he was, it seems to me like he was in the wrong place at the wrong time, but he was right there, and as he got in Adrien's walking path, Adrien uncorked with a shot and laid the guy out on the ground. You can, it's hard to see in the video, but you can definitely hear it. Take a look. Yeah, that crack was Adrien punching the dude in the face. The guy goes down. As soon as he goes down, you can see in this video right here, he is out.
And it doesn't matter. He may not have even been hit hard enough to be laid out like that, but he's definitely going to sell it, and he should. He should sell it. Because if Adrien Broner is dumb enough to do something like that, then he deserves to have to issue out a financial settlement to this guy. Whether this guy was trying to calm Adrien Broner down, or if he was trying to apologize for trolling him earlier, or if he was trying to continue the trolling. Either way, Adrien Broner has to be much smarter than that. You have to look at yourself as a financial commodity, man. That's why I always tell cats. You have to look at yourself as somebody of value. When you look at yourself as somebody of value, you make better decisions. A lot of times cats make bad decisions. Why is that? Because they don't look at themselves as somebody of value. They look at themselves as being worthless. Man, I say this all the time. All you brothers have a talent, no matter what it is, whether it's art, writing, mathematics. Some of you guys may be great historians. Some of you guys may be great linguists. Some of you guys may be great choreographers. You might be good with the women. Whatever the hell it is that you're good at. Maximize it and monetize it. And stop wasting time looking for a hug from the so-called white man and woman. Stop wasting time putting women on a pedestal. All right? The woman was created to be a helpmeet and a servant to you, not the other way around. All right? You love them, you respect them, you cherish them, you honor them, but you do not put them on a pedestal. All right? Adrien Broner has a problem putting things in proper perspective, and people like him have to learn the hard way.
Ow, yeah. He just got smacked in the face by a professional boxer. That punch had complete steam coming off of it. If Adrien was hitting him at half speed, he could rearrange his face.
Yeah, not just...
And he probably didn't even hit him with a closed fist. He probably just slapped the shit out of him. But a guy like Adrien Broner who's trained, of course, that's going to be viewed in any official court case as assault. He's going to have to prove that the guy hit him first and that it was self-defense. There's nothing on the video footage that would show that. I'm sure that he'll probably be charged with aggravated assault. He'll claim that maybe he was threatened. Maybe he'll claim that. But nothing that he has said in the aftermath on social media has denoted that he was the recipient of a threat. It just seemed like he lost control because somebody was talking reckless. All right. When you're out there on the Vegas Strip, people are drunk. Some people are high. A lot of these people are reckless. They just talking shit. Right? We live in a talk shit society. Everybody just talks shit. Like I said, everybody out here is a professional troll. People do not think about the consequences or the repercussions of their words or actions. That's why people out here getting bodied. Adrien Broner has to understand, number one, I don't remember how many kids the man got, 5 or 6. Like, you got to think about those type of things. It doesn't make you a punk to have security. Muhammad Ali had security. Floyd Mayweather has security. Okay? When you are a valuable commodity, you have security. The people can ask you for your autograph while you're standing, while there is a 6'5", 300-pound security guard standing between you and them. That's the life that you have to live. You can't just always be a man of the people. A lot of these people out here, they're crabs. They don't spend time trying to figure out how to make themselves better. They spend their time trying to figure out how to bring you down to their level.
Not just a professional boxer, a former champion.
A former weight division champion. Like, he won weight. Adrien Broner is not some boxing dude. He was once one of the very best boxers on planet Earth. Take that into consideration.
He's 28 years old. He's 33-3 as a boxer, and he just cold cocks his dude on the street.
And let me say this also. Adrien Broner has been going through a lot of depression ever since he realized that he was not going to be another Floyd Mayweather. All right. He thought he was going to go through his career being undefeated. If you remember at one time, right before he fought Malignaggi, he was talking about how he didn't want to fight Floyd because he didn't want to take Floyd's undefeated record. Right. That's what he was saying. See, eventually, and this is why Floyd keeps him at arm's distance. And that's also why I keep dudes at arm's distance, too, because a lot of these guys are not they're not mentally stable. OK. So, a lot of times when you operate according to discretion and you see things from a macrocosmic perspective, you got to keep people at arm's distance. They got to prove a lot to you to even let them to the point where you put a fold in your arm. You got to give them the straight arm. They got to show you a lot just for you to give them the folded arm. But, people are wild. And that's why Floyd has taken Adrien Broner under his wing. And I sense that's why their relationship vacillates, because Floyd understands that this guy is he's not focused, he's not stable, and at one time, Adrien Broner was talking and acting like he could take Floyd's undefeated record until, of course, he lost to Marcos Maidana. That was his first humbling, and that was a massive humbling. Okay, but he was building up to where he was going to try to call Floyd out, and if you remember, about a year or so ago, he did try to call Floyd out. After he beat, what's this guy? The British fighter that Floyd has, the heavy bag. What's this guy's name? It'll come back to me. But Adrien fought one of Floyd's fighters, light-skinned dude from Britain, basically a sparring partner. And after he beat the guy, Adrien was in the ring and he called Floyd out. And Floyd just sat in the crowd chuckling because it was like basically Floyd had a look on his face like, I knew it. Theophane, that's his name, Ashley Theophane. That's the guy. Adrien beat him, and then he called out Floyd. See, Floyd understands a lot of these guys, they want to pick his brain so that they can learn his secrets. And Floyd is like a grandmaster. He's not going to give you all his secrets. Not until he's not until he knows that he's totally finished with the sport. Adrien was frustrated by that, and I believe that that's the source of a lot of their, the tumultuous nature of their relationship. Adrien thought that he would go pick Floyd's brain, and that Floyd was just going to give him all his secrets. That's not how grandmasters operate. All right. When you approach anybody who thinks on a grandmaster scale, they're always thinking from a defensive angle. Why does this person want to learn from me? What do they have planned? What will they try to use these tricks against me? All right. That's how Floyd thinks. And Adrien couldn't deal with that.
Now, the most shocking part to me is that he wasn't immediately arrested. Now, we know that security went and spoke with him, but he wasn't arrested and thrown in jail on the spot, which is shocking considering that guy got lumped up and there was video of the entire situation.
Well, maybe he didn't get arrested on the spot because security or law enforcement, they saw some footage that you guys have not been able to present. Who knows? Maybe they know something that we don't know. Either way, Adrien Broner has mental problems, and he definitely needs help. The main help that he needs is to get rid of his idolatry, meaning what? His worship of boxing and his worship of money and his worship of women. All right? All those things lead to mental instability. You enjoy those things. Those things are here as a pastime. Okay? There's nothing wrong with it. Like I saw somebody, one of them comments, some chick was on there. One of these over-righteous chicks. I don't follow sports because I don't. Look, I don't want to hear get dumb shit. When you read Exodus, I believe it's the 32nd chapter, it tells you about how the Israelites, they rose up and they played. All right? There's nothing wrong with engaging in sports as a pastime or in watching sports. Now, when you start taking it seriously and you're betting half your check on the game and all that other silly shit, sports oftentimes can be a reflector of, the human condition, of human nature. You get to see who endures, who gives up, right? Who shows that they're willing to work hard to get to what they want to achieve, who has focus. These are things that all come out in sporting events. This is why people like it, because it's a great revealer. All right. We learned a lot of things about Adrien Broner in many of his more adverse situations. Right. We learned that under pressure, he becomes gun shy. We learned that he is not somebody who adapts well. All right. We learn that he goes into a defensive shell whenever the pressure comes. These are things that we learn. All type of fighter. Look at Muhammad Ali. When you put the pressure on him, he came out firing. All right. This is what we learn about people. We learn about people through adverse situations, and the best way that we see how people respond is in the sports world.
And a ton of witnesses.
Yeah, a ton of witnesses. Video on the Las Vegas Strip. How does Adrien Broner end up in jail?
I gotta tell you, I talked to Adrien Broner and he wouldn't go into the actual incident, but he is worried. He is concerned about his future, hoping it's not inside a jail cell, and he's worried that boxing, that he's going to be shunned from the sport.
Well, he's about to be shunned from the sport because he's shown that he's not an A-class fighter. He's shown that whenever he's put against A-class competition, that he gets thoroughly outshined. All right? I mean, the best performance that he's ever had against higher level competition was against Maidana. I mean, when you compare that to what happened when he fought Porter or Mikey Garcia, I mean, at least he fought back against Maidana. But he was forced to because Maidana put so much pressure on him and just kept coming and kept throwing punches. He was going to get knocked out if he didn't fight back. All right, but it took him years to get over the psychological damage from that fight. But he just clammed up against Garcia and against Porter. So I mean, we'll see what happens to Adrien. Adrien is still going to have a little niche in the sport because, you know, of his his personality, how vivacious his personality is. He'll always be able to court a certain audience, but he pretty much has that Zab Judah niche right now. He's the wild card. You never know what's going to happen in his fights. You know, you watch him just like you watch Zab. You root for him. You hope that they finally can get over that mental hurdle, but you know they never will, because the mental hurdle is the most improbable hurdle to get over. So I mean, we'll see.
After this video.
Well, after this, he went to social media and he started tweeting. And he wrote, "quote I know I got problems. I just want to help."
Well, you know, when you see cats type stuff like that, you have to evaluate it. Are they serious, or are they just looking for attention? All right. When you say, "I know I got problems, I just want help," that means that you have to be receptive to information, and you have to be willing to give up on all the things that are causing you the problems. So we know with Adrien Broner, he has an alcohol problem. Am I saying he's an alcoholic? No, not necessarily. But as a top-notch athlete, he really shouldn't be drinking alcohol at all. At all. I don't know if he smokes marijuana or not, but he should stop that as well. He probably needs to stop hanging out with some of the people that he's hanging out with, but we know how hard that is for some niggas, man. He needs to truly be focused on higher things, but you have to be receptive to that type of knowledge and information. He probably is going to have to let go of most of his stable of hoes. You know, again, a lot of these guys, every time I mention a man should have more than one woman, I get all these simps in my comments talking about, oh, what the Bible. You know what killed me about a lot of these guys? And I mentioned this before, and it's not to digress. A lot of these guys who view having more than one woman as a stumbling block, 9 times out of 10, they don't even have one woman. It's like the women who don't have a man who always trying to give relationship advice to a woman who's in a relationship. A lot of these guys, I'm telling you, you read the comments and you read some of these guys that you know, it's a stumbling block to them that you can have more than one woman, even though the Bible explicitly says it. You know for a fact, number one, these guys have very little experience with women, if any. Number two, they put the woman on a pedestal. Number three, they're looking for this magical, mystical relationship where, you know, some woman's going to come and finish their sentences and you're going to finish her sentences and all this other silly shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why these guys, they come on the comments and they just start acting like hoes whenever the information comes out that, yes, you can have more than one woman. Like I said, it doesn't mean that you should. Adrien Broner right now is a guy who needs to let go of the stable of women that he has. Why is that? Number one, when you have a woman, whether it's one woman or more than one woman, the woman has to follow your spirit to a degree. Does it mean that she has to agree with you at all times? No, it does not. But it does mean that she has to respect your perspective. All right? If you're dealing with a female, you might like her, she likes you. You're dealing with the scriptures. You tell her, I don't eat pork, I don't eat shrimp, crab, or lobster. She can't buck up against that. In her own spare time, you never know what she's doing. She could be at Lobster Fest, for all you know. But she has to respect the fact that you don't eat that. Now, as the relationship progresses, if y'all get closer, then yeah, she's going to have to let go of a lot of that shit. But that's up to you. See, brothers, look, every time I speak according to reality. I'm not going to try to feed y'all no lame, silly shit. All right? like a lot of these guys do with their fake over-righteousness, talking all this crazy, silly nonsense. Don't even have no damn woman. Log off of YouTube and run and get a damn bottle of Vaseline, be skiing all over their room. Damn room look like a glazed donut. Frost in their damn windows. They want to come back on YouTube. Hey, the Lord said you can only have one woman. I'm logging back off right now. Mom, where's the Jergens?
Just want to help. I need someone to talk to. And then he says, who will come talk to me?
Look at this. He's talking about I need someone to talk to. Who will come talk to me? This brother has a lot of problems. But to me, that's much more of a reflection of his father, Adrien Broner's dad. Most of you brothers who watch boxing, you'll know he's oftentimes in the ring with Adrien. He's about 5 feet tall and about 6 feet wide. Obviously, the man did a very poor job raising his son in regards to imparting some type of wisdom or decision making. And the proof of that is that Adrien Broner is on the internet looking for somebody to come talk to him, as opposed to calling up his dad and knowing that his dad can give him some words of wisdom, some words of guidance. All right?
Talk to me. To me, this seems like a message that's directed toward Floyd Mayweather, because Floyd is a guy who has taken Adrien under his wing before. When Adrien had gotten arrested, when Adrien had gone to jail.
Look at that picture with Floyd. Let me rewind it back for a second.
When Adrien had...
Something going on when Floyd Mayweather is the most functional dude in a photo. Right now, Floyd's in the middle of a fuck-up sandwich. Got Adrien Broner to his left and Kevin Hart to his right. Just totally fucking up their own life.
Adrien had gotten arrested, when Adrien had gone to jail, when Adrien was accused of beating somebody up at a bowling alley. Floyd Mayweather wasn't just there for him. He let him live in his house.
You remember there were those messages that some people thought were even suicidal, and Floyd Mayweather came to Adrien Broner's rescue.
But it did.
Right, but you know what? You reach a point in life, even if you're a friend or a brother, where you say to yourself, this person is so self-destructive and so dysfunctional. This person is coming to me. Sometimes people come to you not because they want your help, but because they're looking to bring down somebody along with them. They might not even know that, but you have to have the discretion to know that. Sometimes you have to know how to cut people off at the right time, because they're about to go on a kamikaze mission and they want to bring you with them. All right. I've always thought that Adrien Broner had a very unhealthy fascination with Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is another person that he's put on a pedestal. All right. Idol worship never leads to anything good. Once again, Adrien Broner reminds me a lot of that character from Carlito's Way, Benny Blanco from the Bronx. But anyway.
But at this point in time, it doesn't seem like Floyd is opening his arms to Adrien Broner. It seems like he's actually kind of keeping him at a distance. And Adrien's upset about that.
Well, Floyd Mayweather is smart enough to know that Adrien Broner was trying to inject himself into Floyd's life so that he could learn Floyd's secrets, his fight secrets. Right? Floyd did not want to give him his fight secrets. So, now Adrien pretty much, has a love-hate relationship with Floyd.
I mean, doesn't a time come where you gotta just say enough is enough if you're Floyd Mayweather?
Absolutely. There comes a time in life where you have to evaluate your life. Not to use a Scientology term, but you have to audit your life. And you have to see what's necessary and what's not. That's something that Adrien Broner has to do. Once again, you look at the film The Last Dragon. It's about a supremely talented so-called black man who goes through the entire film trying to be validated by other people, right? Looking for somebody else to guide him when he's already reached the level that he, is supposed to reach. And now it's time for him to teach others. All right. That film had a lot of spiritual and biblical connotations. All right. And of course, they slipped in some of their left-hand Luciferian philosophies as well. But, when you look at that film, the main thing that you have to get out of that film is that the so-called black man has to view himself as the master. That film should have been 2 minutes long. As soon as the Asian man told Bruce Leroy he got to find the master, Bruce Leroy would have said, "Thank you. Don't mind if I do." And the credit should have rolled, right? Should have went and found Vanity and, stopped her from playing a hoe and had some nice, good-looking little kids with her. And the film should have ended there. But because he did not have a ruling class mentality, he had to go throughout the entire film. looking for validation from others, man. That shit plays out all the time in real life with the so-called black man. And you see it with Adrien Broner. He's still looking for Floyd to validate him. Floyd is looking at him like, dude, it's time for you to validate yourself. You don't want to come sign with the money team. You have your own promotional label. So you should not be looking to me anymore as an idol. You have to look at yourself as, as your own power, right? You have to look at yourself as a monarch. You have to declare your decrees and stick by them. Be a man.
Whether I am done with this dude, he's beyond help.
See, these guys have a good relationship, and they've been seen together. They're friends, but Floyd in no way has any sort of control over Adrien Broner.
Yeah, he doesn't have any control over Adrien Broner. I mean, nor should he. Adrien Broner's a grown man. All right? And when I say he doesn't have any control over him, meaning Adrien Broner is the type of dude, at least from a distance, he appears to be the type of dude who'll run up and ask Floyd for advice and then not do it. And then claim that Floyd was being judgmental. I think that Floyd is tired of dealing with that. I think that after a while, when people are constantly trying to come into your life, asking for help, and they don't really want the help, sometimes they have to go. All right? Because they're trying to drag you down with them. Like I've already mentioned, that film Jason's Lyric with Alan Payne and Bokeem Woodbine. That was a very good film, came out in the early 90s. It's about a young man who had a brother who was always getting into destructive behavior. It almost cost them both their life. Alan Payne, it almost cost him his life, I should say, because he was always trying to save his brother. Sometimes you have to know when to let go. You have to take the training wheels off and you got to ride that bike on your own. You always can't have somebody behind you holding the seat for you, trying to guide you. Adrien Broner, it's time for him to grow up and be a man.
He also has no obligation. He doesn't have to do
not at all. By the time Floyd and Adrien Broner became friends, Adrien Broner was already a world champion. Really, if AB wants help and needs help, he should find the help from within.
Exactly. Finally, Van Jones says something, worth listening to. AB has to find the help within himself because he clearly doesn't trust his dad and he clearly just wants attention from Floyd. And it's a very, very sick and sad dynamic that AB has with Floyd, because I say sick because it's an unhealthy fascination. All right, it's almost like how he would view a woman that he has a crush on. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, it goes that far and that deep. That's why I think Floyd also keeps him at arm's distance, because it gets a little perverse, to be quite honest with you, when a man is that infatuated with you. Okay? That's why I always reiterate over and over again. I don't want brothers to talk about how they fans of mine. I'm please. I make these videos so that I can share my perspective on certain things. People going to agree, some people going to disagree. It is what it is. That's fine. But Adrien Broner has never been taught how to be a grown man. And I think that what's impeding him is his associations with a lot of people that he's had since his childhood. Sometimes you got to leave certain people behind so that you can grow a little bit as a man. All right? When you've known somebody since you were a child, they're always going to look at you as a child.
Number one, I hope the guy hits okay, because that looked like...
Because that really, first of all, forget about whether or not Adrien Broner needs help. Because that guy didn't need help.
And then
that's the dude who got popped in his face.
And then the second thing is, if Adrien Broner is mentally unwell, and in my opinion, it seems to me here's a guy who's mentally unwell.
Yes, I've said that a long time ago. He has a mental issue. I won't say mental illness, but he has a mental issue that he needs assistance with. Can he get that from a psychoanalyst or a psychologist or a psychiatrist? I don't know. I know what he needs help from, which is a spiritual understanding in the scriptures of who he is, so that he can stop idolizing men and women. That's not a good look. All right? A relationship with a man or a woman can end tomorrow. It can end in the next second. All right? You could be on the phone with your wife or your girlfriend, and it could be I love you back, and then you go to sleep, you wake up, you look at your phone, there's a 3-page text message talking about, I just can't do this anymore and all this, right? There's like we saw on that show, Insecure. Okay? That happens. You have to look upward for stability, not on this plane of existence. You're never going to get that here. These people here are capricious. They're whimsical. All right? And a lot of people get off on trying to get you to trust them. And once they feel like they've earned that trust, then they can go through the ritual of breaking the trust so that they can feel ultimately empowered by crushing somebody else's spirit. That's why it's dangerous to put your trust in another person.
He needs to get that help, and I'm hoping if they really are friends, if he really cares about him, hopefully he'll fund him, he'll do whatever it takes to get him the help that he needs. Because, look, we don't want to see this guy in any more trouble.
First of all, you don't want to see him in any trouble, but what you really don't want him to be, and I love AB in the past as much as anyone, but you don't want to see him being a dangerous side. He can really hurt people.
Yeah, he can really hurt people. And, it shows you how off he is. He's walking with that woman, that young lady. And, he's supposed to be thinking about enjoying his evening with her, going wherever they're going back to his hotel room and handling his business with her. Instead, he's out in the street fighting and scrapping with people. Shows you where guys' heads at or not at. But anyway, hopefully the brother can find it in himself to receive the help that he needs. Peace.